When archaeologists opened Tutankhamun's tomb after more than 3,000 years, they discovered gold royal treasures and the remains of a forgotten pharaoh. Then people connected to the excavation began dying. Newspapers claimed an ancient curse had been released. Mysterious stories spread across the world, and the tomb became associated with supernatural revenge. But when researchers later examined who actually died and who survived, the evidence revealed a very different story. Before we enter the tomb, subscribe to support the channel and tell us in the comments, do you believe the curse was real, or was it one of history's greatest newspaper inventions? In November 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter's team discovered steps descending into the ground in Egypt's Valley of the Kings. Carter had searched for years with financial support from George Herbert, the 5th Earl of Carnarvon. When Carnarvon arrived from Britain, the team continued clearing the entrance. Carter made a small opening in a sealed doorway and looked inside by candlelight. Golden objects slowly appeared from the darkness. When Carnarvon asked if he could see anything, Carter reportedly answered, "Yes, wonderful things." The tomb belonged to Tutankhamun, a young Egyptian king who had ruled during the 14th century BCE. Although thieves had entered parts of it in antiquity, the burial remained extraordinarily complete compared with most royal tombs. Inside were chariots, furniture, statues, weapons, clothing, jewelry, and the pharaoh's famous golden burial mask. It became one of the greatest archaeological discoveries ever made. But only months later, Lord Carnarvon was dead. In March 1923, Carnarvon suffered a mosquito bite on his face. The wound reportedly became infected after he cut it while shaving. His condition worsened, developing into a serious bacterial skin infection, blood poisoning, and pneumonia. He died in Cairo on April 5, 1923. The timing was perfect for a frightening story. According to dramatic reports, Cairo's electricity failed at the exact moment Carnarvon died. His dog was said to have howled and died in England at the same time. Some newspapers claimed that a warning had been discovered inside the tomb, threatening death to anyone who disturbed the pharaoh. But no such curse was found written inside Tutankhamun's tomb. As other people connected, even loosely, to the discovery died over the following years, newspapers added their names to the supposed curse. A visitor who developed a fever, an excavation worker who suffered from illness, and individuals who died years later were presented as additional victims. The connections were often stretched. Some alleged victims had only visited the tomb briefly. Others had experienced serious health problems before their deaths. Several died from conditions that were neither sudden nor mysterious. Meanwhile, the many people who entered the tomb and continued living were usually ignored. Howard Carter, the man most responsible for opening and clearing the burial, survived until 1939, almost 17 years after discovering it. He died at the age of 64 after suffering from lymphoma. Lady Evelyn Herbert, Carnarvon's daughter and one of the first people to enter the tomb, lived until 1980. Many archaeologists, officials, and visitors survived for decades. The curse story also focused mainly on wealthy Europeans while largely ignoring the Egyptian workers who performed much of the physical excavation. If a supernatural force attacked everyone who disturbed the tomb, its selection of victims appeared remarkably inconsistent. Researchers have proposed natural explanations. Ancient sealed spaces can contain mold, bacteria, or harmful particles. Certain species of Aspergillus fungus can be dangerous, particularly to people with weakened immune systems. However, there is no convincing evidence that fungus from Tutankhamun's tomb caused Carnarvon's death or produced a pattern of fatal illness among the excavation team. Carnarvon's documented infection began with an injured mosquito bite. In 2002, a medical researcher tested the curse statistically. The study identified 44 Westerners who were in Egypt during important stages of the tomb's opening. 25 were considered potentially exposed to the supposed curse. The exposed group lived for an average of more than 20 years after entering the tomb. Their average age at death was approximately 70. Researchers found no significant connection between entering Tutankhamun's tomb and dying early. The statistics showed no evidence of a mummy's curse. So why did the legend become so powerful? Tutankhamun's discovery contained everything newspapers needed: an ancient king, unimaginable treasure, a dark sealed tomb, and a wealthy sponsor who died unexpectedly. Egypt already occupied a mysterious place in popular culture, while fictional stories had spent decades describing mummies taking revenge upon those who disturbed them. Carnarvon's death transformed those fictional fears into what appeared to be real evidence. Every later death strengthened the legend, while every survivor was forgotten. The curse of Tutankhamun was not discovered on a wall inside the tomb. It was constructed through coincidence, selective reporting, and humanity's desire to believe that disturbing the dead must carry consequences. The tomb contained wonderful things, but the most enduring object to emerge from it may have been a story that people still want to believe.